friend, it's Pixie. Glad you could join me today. This is the third and final part of How to Cure Writer's Block, a series where I just share what works for me and how I deal with this issue, and I'm hoping that it will help you too. A short note, I was originally planning for this series to be 4 parts, with 1 part about mental health stuff, but I decided I want to do that as a standalone video about creativity in general, so that will come at some point, so you can look forward to that. Yeah, in this part we are finally going to get more practical. Now, I chose to spend so much time on the emotional roadblocks because I find that those are often the biggest issue for me. But in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through kind of what I do in a concrete sense to help get me going. So I hope it's helpful. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, first of all, we've got your works in progress. I find that the first question I need to ask myself when I'm stuck on a whip is there something wrong with the story? As in, do I not know my characters well enough? Or is it possible that I don't know what themes I've been building, so I just don't know how to bring it home? Or do I like world building? And this doesn't have to mean in like a fantasy inventing Middle Earth kind of way. It can just mean that I need to know more about the characters' background or the times they're living in. Like, maybe I haven't thought enough about the context they're in. This is a mistake I personally make a lot because I get excited and I throw myself into a project, and I don't always do a whole lot of planning because making a meticulous outline hasn't worked for me in the past. So that's not where I'm currently at. That might change, because I hear that from some people who outline that they just do not get blocked. But the one time I tried it, I just found it so boring and I got super blocked and I found it super difficult. But it'll depend on what works best for you, and the only way to know for sure is to just try it. But anyway, to solve these things, you can either read through what you have and pick up on your themes and try to see what's unclear and try to get to know your characters. I also find it super helpful to get feedback. So I will let a friend read. My partner or my other best friend usually are the ones I'll go to, and they'll be able to see solutions that I can't see. So that is perhaps one of my best tips. But if you don't have someone you're comfortable asking, I recommend reading through yourself, and maybe you have to wait a while to come back with new eyes. So that's one thing about works in progress. Also, sometimes I get stuck because I get bored So my tip then is kind of depending on what you want to do with the story, but throw in something new. Surprises. Hopefully something that will fit with the theme, but if it doesn't, you can remove it later. It's fine. I also sometimes just find it helpful to take a walk, a quiet walk, like no audiobook, no podcast, no music, just the forest and me. Because I'm a kind of person who tends to like always fill my space with noise so I don't get overwhelmed by my brain. But that's sometimes counterproductive when you need to focus. So walk it out, mull it over, and hopefully that helps. Also, sometimes, honestly, with a work in progress, you just need to kick yourself in the butt and just do it. So, kick self in butt. Set a timer for however long you have, and like turn your Wi-Fi off or whatever for those. It can be 15 minutes, it can be 25, it can be an hour, whatever you want, but those minutes, it's just you and the project. Even if you're spending half of it just staring at the document, that can sometimes be more productive than messing about with other things. So don't underestimate doing nothing. Sometimes you just need to focus. Those are kind of my things that I do, but honestly, most often my problem is the first one. Actually, related to this, I forgot to tell you, control freak. See, sometimes I have this idea of what I wanted the story to be, and I'm really locked down on that vision, but that's not what the story is developing to be, and I have trouble adjusting, and that can make me stuck because the story is going somewhere I didn't expect, and I just freak out and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So consider if that's the case for you too, and try to let the story do what it wants. I'm gonna link a great video about this by Kieran or Max. They have tons of great writing videos, but especially the story always wins in this case. I watched that the other day and I felt so called out. Alright. Then we have starting something new. So you want to write, but you have no ideas, you have no characters, no plot, no setting, no nothing. Well, I personally feel that the physical act of writing can help kind of warm up the creative muscles, so to speak. So just sit down and write your thoughts or like anything, just to like physically do it, because that's a tiny hurdle that you can pretty easily get over, and then you're one step closer to writing a story. Honestly, my next things are just gonna be variations of prompts. Don't be afraid to use prompts. using a prompt does not take away from the originality of the story, and it doesn't take away from it being your creation, because everyone who sees the prompt is going to interpret it differently, and that's one of the many beauties of prompts and creating. Something I like to do is to pick a random object in the room I'm in and like tell its life story, and like not necessarily truthfully. Like the lamp in my bedroom hasn't seen a lot of exciting stuff, but I will look at the lamp and I will go, okay, what if this lamp was in a parlor in Victorian England, and maybe the servants there were planning an uprising and the lamp heard it all, and maybe the lamp was broken during the uprising. Well, you get the idea. You can base a story off of something from your life, not necessarily like an autobiography type thing, but like, for example, what was most important to you when you were 11 years old? Was it stickers, Harry Potter, your best friend? And like based on that, write a story. It could be anything. It could be a society where stickers is the currency and the rich people have their houses plastered in shiny unicorn stickers. I don't know. That's super silly, but you get the point. Just pick something to start with. I will honestly also make this a different bullet point because this is my favorite. Fan fiction! Write fanfic! Fanfic is a great start and a great end in itself, in my opinion. But if you're feeling stuck and you're for writing something original, writing fanfic can be like a slightly easier because you already have characters that you know and love, and if you choose the canon universe those characters exist in, you also have a world ready for you, and that can really help. Plus, if you post it online, you might get some validation for it, which I personally find very motivating. So, one last thing. Sometimes when I am working on a work in progress, I will start getting like tons of ideas for new stories, like plot bunnies. So what I try to do is just like make small notes of them and then try to crack down on the work in progress, because I like finishing things. Finishing things is hard, but it's no better feeling. And then when I'm here and wanting to start something new and not knowing what, I can look at those notes and see if anything is worthwhile. I personally find that my plot bunnies often are not that great, but you will have something to go off and maybe you can change them up slightly and get something out of them. So yeah, I hope you can see what I've written. I will put this on the screen as well so you can see. I hope this was helpful. I will be back next week with another video. If you don't want to miss it, I recommend clicking subscribe and maybe even the little notification bell. Let me know what you do in these situations. What are your strategies? I would love to hear them, because there are so many different ways of tackling this, and I want to know what you do. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Until then, take care, have fun, and make stuff.